I'm calling in about a good friend that I have. She and I have known each other since third grade. She's beautiful, smart. She was an athlete in
Nice.
like middle, high school. We went to college together. But she has really like had kind of a hard time getting past that college phase, and she just keeps choosing these guys that are real bad for her. She is having a hard time like having a real job. So she nannies, which is cool, but she also like, has these boyfriends that just suck. I mean, her current guy, she's caught him cheating on her, but he's so lame. He is like on house arrest with like an ankle bracelet, and he lives in a tiny home.
How's he cheating?
Drugs.
He's fucking bringing these bitches into his house, into his tiny home.
Into his box.
He's like, all right, let me flip up the toilet so we can sit here as a couch. Let's turn the toilet has to flip down and we can hang out here.
Can you dump the bucket when you're done?
Yeah.
In a tiny home, and he deals drugs, and which is like fun if he does drugs, but like
yeah, that is actually the
she
least.
keeps getting cheated on, like dude after dude after dude. And I feel like as her friend, I don't know like how to keep consoling her. I think like
that's the problem.
The sky's the limit as far as like she could do whatever she wants to do in life and find whoever she wants, but she just like legitimately keeps choosing these like terrible, mean guys that treat her terribly. And she also has herpes, and she feels like that like limits her.
Okay, it's not enough to
dating, but like
you don't have to deal with drug dealers.
I don't know,
on house arrest who cheat on you
and I want
just
my
because you have
friend to do
herpes.
well, but what do I do to support her? Thanks. Cool. Bye.
Wow. So your friend dates only pieces of shit, and she has low self-esteem because she has herpes? She's trying to break out of the college thing is what she said?
I think she meant the college thing in terms of like just dating assholes.
Yeah, and maybe also just getting out of... I mean, some people do have a problem transitioning from the fake college setup of like... College is life the way like going to an amusement park is like... It's like going to Vegas is like actually going to Paris just because you saw that Eiffel Tower. It's like a fake version of life.
And it feels like it's infinite time.
Yes. And then you realize quickly, oh, wait, fuck. No, it isn't.
Right.
And that's depressing. And people deal with that differently. I get that. But I don't know. This girl sounds like she has some like textbook self-esteem issues, right? Like she's just dating pieces of shit.
Was she having good conversations with her dad growing up?
I honestly don't think she was. If I had to guess, there's no way she was. Yeah, I don't know. Have you dealt with like either you had a bad relationship or you had friends in one? Does this ring a bell? Does this ring any bells to you?
I have friends where there's so much I would love to say to them, but if I did, our friendship would be over. And or they just wouldn't, they'd go into full defensive mode and like act out even more.
Right.
I think if she's like calling you and demanding like being consoled, that's like you gotta be like, I'm not holding you anymore if you keep doing this. But other than that, I think you gotta just like put some distance between, because there's nothing you can nothing you do. Also though, for this friend, if you have herpes, like what a dream. You don't have to worry about getting it. See, like I'm always, it's weird because I'm so afraid of getting it, but also then if you got
it would be freeing.
Boy, like,
yeah. That's an interesting perspective on herpes. This is interesting because I think you're right in that you can't. There's only, and we've covered some version of this a lot where it's like my friend's dating someone who sucks, right? That's one of like, that's like a social problem. That's like one of the classic problems in a friend group, or, oftentimes somebody close to us dates a piece of shit, right? That's like, that happens to everybody. Or even if they're not a piece of shit, in this case, which they are in this case, even if they're just somebody you don't like, how do you handle it? And it's hard because, yeah, you can't, like you said, if I've done that, right, where I have just said exactly what I thought, and I haven't, it's definitely affected. It's not that we can't be friends anymore, but it's like, if you just go too hard with the truth, it does negatively affect how much they trust you or feel like they can just say what they can, the truth to you. And sometimes it kind of, it's sort of like hardens their resolve to be in this relationship. Like if you're just like, this person's a piece of shit, they're not right for you, what the fuck, you're a fucking idiot for not seeing this.
Then they're like, I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Oh yeah, fuck. When you try and get almost too parental with it, right? Most people rebel against their parents. This is kind of a classic thing that most people do. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but if you try and act like an authority figure, they will sometimes. And in fact, that's kind of the juice they're getting out of these relationships sometimes, is people in their life not approving of it. Like people can get trapped in those weird, fucked up psychological circles where you might actually be like, this would be one of the silver linings, is them getting to be like, you don't fucking know me, you know, whatever. This is me and you don't tell me about my girl or my guy, whatever. So what do you do here? I mean, have you had just like an intervention-esque talk with this person?
I was gonna say, if you really want to go full steam, you kind of need like a group intervention.
Yeah.
You can't, like, if it's just you, then they're like, well, that friend's just a bad friend, or but it kind of depends on what you want to have happen. Like, do you want to stop having to deal with this friend?
Right.
Then I would sort of just put some distance, and then maybe the friend will also be like, huh, like,
I'm losing those closest to me. What's going on there? That is funny. That is exactly where your head went. How annoying it is for you to deal with them crying about getting cheated on. But I know what you mean. If you can't stop it, what's the fucking point? If you tell me about it 8 fucking times,
right.
It's like, come on.
Look,
dude.
I'll be there for you the first, second, and third time. But then at a certain point, it's like, well, there's a way to have this stop happening.
Yeah.
And you're not, and by comforting you, you're just enabling the behavior.
Yeah.
Which is fine if you want to keep doing that. But if you don't want to keep doing that, then don't.
But how young are they too? She said they're fresh out of college, right?
Yeah, I would assume they're in their 20s or something. It's
okay.
There's an element of this that she's like, oh yeah, she was fucking awesome in 3rd grade, and she was an athlete.
Right. There's a little bit.
It's
yeah.
like, hey, some people just top out and their lives get pretty shitty pretty quickly into adulthood or something.
No, people
Not that you should stop being like supportive with people.
People peak for sure
because of that, but it's like you are seeing the wholesome child who, like, you know, life didn't beat
this is
down.
some used up whore. I see what you're saying, Eldest. Good point. Yep.
No, I just mean like, you know, your lives may just be going on
I kind of know what you mean.
Path, and I don't know. I will say too, Stav, what you're saying is, I usually agree with what you're saying about, like, it's hard to, as a friend, be like, what are you doing? Why are you dating this person? I think this is a little more concrete, where it's like, why are you dating a drug dealer on house arrest?
Who cheats on you
and lives in a tiny home? That's like 4 big.
Hey, hold on, dude. We Americans we have a big overconsumption problem. All right, let's leave the tiny home out of it.
No, kudos to this gentleman for. Something tells me there aren't ecological reasons that he's living in a fucking 120 square foot house.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, actually. But no, I see what you mean. This is more of a. But then, okay, what do you say? You give her an ultimatum. You say you break up with him, or we're not, or don't fuck. Or maybe you don't say we break up with him, or we're not friends. But you could say, hey, I've talked to you about this. I will always be your friend. I'll here to support you. I don't want to hear about this guy ever again, because you're not learning your lesson. And every time, and like, I'll even hear about other guys that cheat on you if you're at least trying something new. But I don't want to hear about this guy, because look, part of being in your 20s is, I mean, I think about conversations I've had with my friends where I'm like, no, dude, this guy's pretty cool. You should still see him. Or like, that girl's pretty, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's not bad. Like, in your 20s, you do kind of support each other through a series of mistakes. Totally. And that's okay. But it's got to be different mistakes. It can't be the same fucking guy over and over again. And I think that's how you handle it, because you also don't want to say, I think in your 30s or, you know, even 40s, you can be like, hey, you're not a fucking kid. I don't want to fuck. If you keep dating this asshole, maybe we shouldn't like hang out or whatever. Like, or even just generally, you'll just distance yourself from someone who's a behavior you don't approve of because there's just less time in your life when you're in your 30s or 40s. But in your 20s, don't cut yourself off from them because also like in abusive relationships, sometimes they want that. They want to like take like their support system away. Just say, listen, I'm always here for you. We can always go fucking hang out, go to get dinner, go to a movie, talk about anything else in your life. But I never want to hear about this fucking guy. If I can't stop him from dating, for you from dating him, that's your choice. I've made it clear I don't approve.
Right.
This is bad for you. We can still be friends, but don't come here for fucking, comfort from this asshole.
Unless it's breaking up with him, then I'll come for you.
Yes, you get,
right.
yes,
You break up with him, we can talk about him.
Yeah, yeah.
But if it's the same.
Yeah, I actually think that's kind of fair.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I definitely had a couple friends who were in like some bad relationships where it was like, you give even younger and you give them advice, but ultimately it's up to them. But don't, that's all you can really do. And I sort of see what you mean, Eldest, where it's like she's overrating her friend from like she might have peaked in college. Who knows? Yeah. But I also see. I
don't mean that to like sound callous or something. Where it's like, well, her life just sucks now. So what's even the point of maintaining your friendship with her? But
you and the people around you are losers, and you should get used to that. And don't fucking call us ever again, bitch. I seriously, you've made some great points this time, Eldest. But yeah, this is classic, and this is early 20s too. And by the way, she probably isn't going to break up with him in a reasonable time. This probably is going to fuck up a lot of her life. People have that like nice 1 to 4 year relationship in their early 20s that kind of fucks their life up for a while. Yeah. And that can be an important part of your life.
It is also, there's this tendency you want the people around you to be like leading these perfect lives. And that's never going to happen. And you're not going to be either.
Right.
And there is sort of just taking people where they're at and being like, well, can you still enjoy like having a drink with them?
Yeah, exactly.
And like, if she brings up the guy here and there, like but you get in your head that you're like, you need to solve this person's life, but you don't.
That's true. And there's something actually really freeing about getting older because now it's purely vibes.
Right.
Like, I don't even care. Yeah, of course your life's bad. Half my friends fucking, everyone's body's breaking down.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's fucked up or like they're overworked. They have a kid they're really worried about. Everyone's stressed. And all you find is like, and everything has some, like our problems now are real problems. People's fucking parents are dying. You know what I mean? Like kids are, they're having kids. They're scared to make ends meet. They're not the early 20s problems. So now all you want is to feel good. Because life sucks dick and most of it is pain and suffering.
Yes.
And so you're like, if I can be around someone who for 2 hours, it's nice. I just feel nice. You're like, great. Awesome. I don't fucking care what they're up to.
Right. Is he cheating on you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, shit. The fucking oyster shooters are here. Hell yes. Yeah, you're listening to fucking salsa music. You're like, damn, dude, you're getting a divorce, huh? Can I get another tequila sunrise barkeep? It is crazy how much like tragedy just rolls off your back after a certain point in your life. Yeah. You're like, oh, that sucks. Well, guess we'll keep moving. I mean, even when I hurt my back, and I was like, maybe I'm disabled now. Maybe I'm a guy who needs a fucking wheelchair half the time. And I was just ready to be like, I guess that's it. And it still might be when this fucking cortisone shot wears off. Who knows? Knock on wood, it doesn't happen. But yeah. So anyway, whatever. Just fucking tell her you don't want to hear about it. Tell her to shove it and to have a good, and to focus on, boneless night at Buffalo Wild Wings. But yeah, good luck to you and your friend. Hopefully she, gets that out of her system and comes out.
That's the thing too. Like in your 20s, like everyone just makes bad relationship choices in your 20s.
That's the only way you learn.
It's like if this maintains until like your guys mid 30s,
of
maybe
course.
Then, but
if she gets pregnant by this guy and you don't drive her to Planned Parenthood, you're a bad friend. You know what I mean? Like, but other than that, if she doesn't marry this guy, have a kid with him, it's like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
She doesn't co-sign for an extension on the tiny house. He wants to build a tiny deck on the tiny house. As long as she doesn't co-sign on that, whatever. And I do think, yes, sometimes you learn by what I feel like every relationship or, even like someone I've been seeing for a while, you kind of learn something about what you want from the person you end up with. Like I've had a relationship where it's like half of the shit is bad, but hey, I really liked how they did that. So you just learn about it. And then you learn what you really don't want too. So I think she'll learn house arrest, drug dealer who cheats. She'll learn at some point those are 3 no-nos. It's going to take her a while though, maybe.